This tutorial will explain how to do the name card project for the CAD/CAM class. First you need to do is go up to File and click on Document Properties. We need to change our default units to inches and make sure the units for the size of the page is also in inches. You come over here, make the width of your page 8.5 and make the height 11. It's the standard size of a piece of paper. And you can see in the background that Inkscape changes the size of the paper. To get this to be, to fill the window, come over to where the magnifying glass is, zoom to fit page and window, and now it's full screen. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make a rectangle for the border of my name card. So I'll come up here to the rectangle tool. I'll select this. Right now it's yellow, so it's a little bit hard to see. But I can just draw a rectangle. And up here, I've got fields for width, height, rounding in the horizontal direction, and rounding in the vertical direction. So our box is supposed to be 3 inches by 5 inches. The rounding is supposed to be 0.5. And you can see the little dot comes out here. I can move this by hand and change the rounding in the horizontal direction. I can also grab this dot and change the rounding in the vertical direction. I want both of these to be 0.5, so to get them exactly, I'll just enter them in by hand, and that way I know they're both the same. To exit the rectangle tool, just come up here to the generic selection tool. And then if I click out here in white space, I've got my box, and it is the right size with rounded corners. Next thing I need to do is get the right color. If I select the box and come down here to my color palette, if I hover over, let's say green, at the very bottom it says click to set fill, and then shift click to set stroke. So if I just click, it's going to fill it with green. And if I hit shift click, then it's going to turn the border red. I can go ahead and zoom in, and you can see that it's filled with green and the stroke is red. For our instructions, we want the inside to have no fill. So I'll select my object again and click no fill, so it's empty. And then I'll hit shift and green. So now I've got a green rectangle. That's the right size. The next thing I want to do is make sure that this is aligned on the page. So this align and distribute command, you can find that over here in the object toolbar. Come down here to align and distribute. And instead of last selected, I want this to be relative to the page. So now when I select this object, I'm going to go ahead and move it out of the way a little bit further. So when I say to align this to the center, it'll move it to the center of the page vertically, and it'll center on the horizontal axis. So now my green rectangle is centered in my page. The next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and put the Panther Head logo in here. The Panther Head logo can be found on the CAD/CAM website, Try 3, under the name card project. All the instructions are right there, and then down lower on the page is the Panther Head. You'll need to download this to your computer and remember where you save it. So I'm going to come to mine, go to File, Import. I've got mine in a folder. I'm going to go ahead and hit Open. And you can go ahead and save the default settings and just click OK. So now I've got a Panther Head right here. I want to make sure that this stays in proportion. So when I want to resize this, if I just grab the horizontal or sliders, it's going to get out of proportion. I can go Control Z and get it back to my original. If I hold down the Control key while moving it, then it's going to expand and stay in proportion. The other way to do that is to come up here, hit the lock button, and then when I type in that I want this to be 2.5 inches wide, it's going to change it, keep it in proportion. So this is a great vector, but this is a JPEG. I need to transfer this into something that's a vector image that the laser can use. So I'll come to the Path tab, do Trace Bitmap, click on Live Preview. I'm just going to go ahead and accept the default settings and hit OK. And you can see now there's a black copy on top of my blue copy. So I'll close this window. If I just grab this and move this, this is the bitmap in black, and this is my original image in blue. I'm going to slide this off my canvas so that I don't have it. And now for the black, I can come in here and the same thing. I can click on blue, I can click on green, I can click on red, I can change this to whatever color I want to. I can also hit Shift and select blue. And now not only does it have the red fill, but it's got a blue outline. And according to our instructions, we want no fill. So I'll click that. And then most of the vectors are red, so I'll hit Shift-click to get them mostly red. When I select this, though, everything is selected at once. If I want to get these individual vectors, I have to come up here to the Path command and select Break Apart. When I click on that, now all of these have selection boxes because I can select these individually now. So I can grab this outside vector and I can move that wherever I want to. I'm going to hit Control-Z to go back to where it was. I want this to be blue. That's what my instructions say. And now I want to put my panther head in the center of my green rectangle. So if I grab this, you can see that it selects all those things at once. Instead of relative to page, I want to do last selected. I'm going to hit Shift, select my green rectangle. And if I move everything to the center, it's going to move all of those vectors individually. And I kind of lose the panther head. They're all centered in the rectangle individually. So hit Control-Z to put them back. And now I'm going to treat this selection as a group. And now when I do center, it's got the box selected as well. So let me go back. I'm going to go ahead and take this. I'm just going to hit Control-G, put that back into one group. So now, once again, it's one object, not a bunch of little objects. So I hit this one and that. I'm going to uncheck the group. And now I should be able to center it vertically and horizontally. So now I've got the panther head in the center. Next thing I need to do is put my name top and bottom. And to do that, to line it up the right way, I'm going to need a couple boxes to help me center things. So click on the rectangle tool again and make a rectangle. Doesn't matter if it's got round corners or not. I can either just grab this and move it up to make it not have rounded corners, or I can come up here and type. I want this box to be the same width as my box, 3 inches, but according to instructions, I just want this 1.5 inches tall. I also want this box to be yellow, so hit Shift and the yellow color. And now I want to align this with the green box, so I hit Shift, select the green box, and I want to align them on their top edges, and then I also want to align them on the vertical axis. So now this yellow box is kind of lined in the center top of my green. If I select my yellow box and hit Control-D, it'll make another one. It's exactly on top of the first one, so you can't really see it. But if I come in here and grab it, you can see the original box is there, and this is the duplicate. Same thing with this. Select my yellow box, Shift select my green box, and if I align the bottom edges now in vertical, I've got a yellow box top and bottom. Last thing I need to do is add some text. So I'll come over here to create text. We know our font size needs to be 20. And I can just go ahead and click anywhere in this box, or actually anywhere on the page. I'll type my first name. I'll click again. And I'll type my last name. And then to get rid of the text command, just once again hit the normal selection arrow. I want my first name to be centered in the yellow box. So I select my name and then shift select the yellow box. And once again, since I'm on last selected, I can center it on the vertical axis and the horizontal axis. And now my name is centered in that yellow box. Select cribs in the bottom yellow box. And I can center my name there as well. So this is the way we want it. I'm going to go ahead and hit File, Save. This is actually the 4th time that I've done this project. So I'll just call it Name Card Project 4. Make sure you save this on your computer somewhere you can find it. And now this is ready to get sent to the laser cutter. I've got the full spectrum software open already. This is what the laser runs on. And if I come into my name card, all I have to do is go to File and Print. Full Spectrum is the software that runs the laser, and just click Print, and it will send it over to the laser. It does a raster image, and it does a vector image. The reason why we did all the colors in Inkscape is that the laser can see all of those different colors and gives us options for the different speed and the different power settings. And we'll go over how to use those in class. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.